When you've spent a long day on the road or hunched over a computer, the temptation to grab the first relief gadget you see is strong. The fear is real, spending a few $100s on a piece of furniture that ends up gathering dust because it doesn't actually fit your routine, or worse, it turns out to be louder than a blender at night. That's the gap I'm trying to close today, a calm, honest look at the MYTHIA 2026 full-body massage chair so you can decide if it truly earns a spot in your living room or if you'd be better off keeping your budget for a few professional spa sessions instead. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest question most people face is whether a massage chair can replace regular visits to a therapist or a gym's recovery room. The MYTHIA 2026 promises a full-body experience, combining rollers, airbags, heat, and even a stretching function. In practice, that means you can sit down after work, say start massage, and the chair will launch a sequence that needs your neck, shoulders, lower back, and legs without you having to lift a finger. The AI voice control is surprisingly responsive. It recognizes simple commands like heat on or stop even when you're half asleep, which cuts down on fumbling with remote buttons that many chairs still rely on. For someone who values a hands-free start, maybe you're still in your work-from-home outfit, the convenience feels genuine. Now, let's talk about the stretching feature. This is where the chair tries to set itself apart. The backrest, leg rest, airbags, and rollers all move in a coordinated rhythm that gently elongates the spine and hamstrings. I tested it after a 10-mile bike ride, and the stretch helped loosen the tightness in my calves and lower back without the abrupt snap you sometimes get from a manual stretch. It's not a replacement for a full yoga session, but it does give a quick, low-impact way to transition from a sedentary posture to a more relaxed one before you even get up. If your day ends with sore muscles and you're looking for a way to unwind without setting up a foam roller, this could be a solid addition. One of the practical strengths of the MYTHIA 2026 is its zero-gravity recline with a 165-degree SL track. The chair tilts back far enough that your spine aligns with your heart, which many users report reduces pressure on the lower back. In my own test, the position felt stable and didn't wobble, even when I shifted my weight to adjust the foot rollers. The foot rollers themselves are fairly long, reaching past my calves, which is a nice upgrade compared to cheaper models that only massage the top of the foot. The heat function is moderate enough to add a soothing warmth without burning, and it stays on throughout the session, which is useful when you're trying to melt away a tight neck after a video call marathon. Noise is a common complaint with high-tech chairs, and the MYTHIA 2026 is quieter than I expected. The rollers glide with a soft whir, and the airbag pumps are more of a muted hiss than a loud pump. If you're living with a partner who sleeps light or have kids in the next room, the noise level stays low enough that you can run a short meditation playlist in the background without it feeling like a concert. On the flip side, there are a few weaknesses that matter once the novelty wears off. The chair is sizable, about the width of a standard sofa, and while the manufacturer says it rolls through a 30-inch doorway, you'll need a clear path and a bit of muscle to maneuver it into a tight living room corner. If you're renting an apartment with narrow hallways, that could be a deal-breaker. The upholstery, while sleek black, is a synthetic blend that does get warm in a heated room. I noticed a slight stickiness after a marathon 45-minute session in summer, which can be uncomfortable if you're prone to sweating. Another practical consideration is the intensity of the rollers. The 3D technology provides a deep kneading that feels great for tight knots, but if you have a lower pain threshold or a medical condition like severe arthritis, the default preset may be too aggressive. The manual controls do let you dial back the speed and width, but getting the perfect balance takes a few minutes of experimentation. For users who want a set-and-forget experience, this learning curve could feel like an extra task rather than a benefit. From a value-for-money perspective, the chair sits in the mid-range price bracket for full-body models. The 3-year coverage is reassuring, especially given the moving parts involved, but keep in mind that the warranty typically covers parts and labor, not wear and tear on the airbags after extended daily use. If you plan to run the chair for an hour or more each day, you might want to budget for occasional maintenance. Compared to buying a monthly spa membership, the upfront cost can be justified after roughly 1,012 months of regular use, assuming you replace a similar number.